Hello everyone, I am PyroFalkon and this is Monster Rancher 4. Macbeth is taking a nap as we're exploring the ruins and we continue... Wow, that was a quick way to wake up. And we are continuing an AMA from the previous episode because now, in case you didn't see the last episode, Macbeth did get to the S class. She won the official A class tournament, although she is not currently able to hang with the S class. She needs a lot more training before I'm comfortable doing any more tournaments, although I don't think I need to do any S-class tournaments. We're probably pretty close to being able to beat the game, even if we've still got some distance before we get to it. Anyway, so the last AMA question I was answering comes from Silent Hawk, who asked, what was my favorite strategy guide I've written and for what reason? So, one of the guides I mentioned at the end of the last episode was for Lost Odyssey, an RPG for the Xbox 360. Excellent game. I've wanted to do it for the show, but it's a massive undertaking, so I'm not yet sure if I'm going to do it. But another guide that I have written that I enjoyed were my Sims 2 and 3 guides, specifically for IGN, but not the Sims 4 guide as much. See, IGN Entertainment, first of all, I'm not going to shit on them. They are my employers, at least part-time, even though I didn't take any assignments from them in 2020. Over the years, IGN has changed its voice, its writing voice. So here's a little bit of a writing lesson for anyone who is a budding writer or whatever. When you work for a company, the company will want you to have a unified voice. And that goes for even tiny businesses like mine. For example, for me, I used to allow other people to upload videos to my channel. I no longer do that because I want consistency in the way my videos are. And I also made the cardinal sin that some people uploaded videos to my channel that I did not check first. And this is storyline. So I guess I will continue that explanation later. I think we have to come right back in anyway, so it may not matter. What an odd design. It looks like some kind of writing. It's about an ancient age. What? How do you know, Rio? Daughter of King Tochika, born with a grave sickness. All the king's efforts to save her were to no avail. One day, the Lord of the Phoenixes, Suzaku, appeared before the king. Suzaku imparted his blood to the girl, saving her life. The prophecy states she will unite the souls of all. It's all about a very, very ancient time. Rio? Why can I read this? And why does it seem so familiar to me? Why? Rio, you look pale. Let's go home for today. Yeah, sounds good. Alright. If we're going right back in, I definitely need to rest Cupcake, because she is not healthy enough to go back in there. And we have no sound. Oh god! Hey Pyro, what's up? Deal. What are you doing here? Oh, now don't be so surprised, Pyro. After that fateful day, I closed down the ranch, and now I'm on a journey to fuck your mother. What? Well, I was just kidding. After that battle, I went to talk to Wit. What is going on? You assisted Pyro, even though I'm your sponsor? No, I didn't. Besides, Pyro's ranch, even if I had helped him, is clearly inferior to yours. Your ranch is the best ranch is the best ranch imaginable. Now, to tell you the truth, I only tried to use Pyro to prove your ranch is superior to all others. I'm an asshole. I'm not even looking in your direction while I'm talking to you. What? What are you talking about? Certain unknown factors apply when it comes to strengthening monsters, like breeder skill. In order to master these factors, in order to beat Pyro, you've got to stop this wasteful raising. You need to apply strength to monsters directly. Wit? When I saw Wit's face that day, I realized that what I had done was wrong. My ranch was no ranch at all. It was just a monster factory, even though I called it that earlier. I got scared of the whole thing. I feel quite ashamed of it all, really. This isn't the voice to do for someone who feels no shame. I mean, who does feel shame. Wit said that? But I'm glad I've come here. Now in one glance, I can see what my ranch was missing. A giant talking tree. So when I return to Torble, I'll open my ranch again. I'll build it from square one in this ranch's image with a talking tree. I'm glad you've realized this. Yeah, it could have been thanks to that wallop you gave me. Please hit me again. It gave me just the biggest erection. I've got my hands full with it. Never mind. I'll see you later. Alright, bye. Anyway. Oh shit, there is no memory card too. Oh, there is a memory card too. How about that? Doing that voice just made me lightheaded. Ugh. That probably tells me I shouldn't do that voice. Okay, I'm not sure what we have to do. I kind of assume we have to go back in there. So I'm gonna rest the same ladies. Just in case, or just until I know what we're doing. So y'all have your orders. Okay, praise... Damn, good job, Samara. Gained a whole level. Praise Samara. And I saw Aruda is extremely tired, but still got an 80-ish%, so... The yelling is working. Sometimes I feel bad about it, but it is working. Nom nom. Yum yum. Food food. Tasty tasty. Alright. I was about to end my week, but I'm like, I guess I should food check the others. They're fine. Nothing. Well, let's head back in there anyway. I mean, what's the worst that can happen, right? I mean, we need items. We didn't even get much from the last trip. Okay, so, back to the AMA. When you work for a company, there needs to be a unified voice for the writing / speaking / whatever. I get it. But back in the old days with IGN Entertainment, they did not care that much about a unified voice for us freelance writers. So the upside of the unified voice is a consistency if you are a visitor to the website. And that is especially important because IGN has switched to a full wiki version of its strategy guides, which is fine. That's their business. It's what they want to do. I don't like it, and I don't think I'm afraid to say that I don't like it because I'm not afraid of an IGN contact knowing that. Because the worst thing they could do is say, like, well, if you're not on board with doing the unified voice, then we have no need of you, you're fired, whatever. But I don't think my bosses at IGN would be that upset because I'm not refusing to do a unified voice. I'm just saying I don't like doing it. And I don't think that should be cause for being fired. I mean, every job I've had, I don't like parts of it. But I'm also not afraid to say I don't like parts of it. Because just because I don't like a part of it doesn't mean I'm not going to do it. Anyway, the point is, the reason I have so much love for my Sims 2 and 3 strategy guides is because I got to write those like I was still a freelance writer for GameFAQs. And it allowed me to have a lot of fun writing how to play the game. One of my favorites was Sims 3, where I basically explained how to play the game while telling a story. Where I explained how to create a sim, and I named her, and then we showed how to get a job with her, and then I intentionally did something that is inefficient in the game, but I did it to take a screenshot and show how to do it properly. So I can't remember how I did it exactly. I'd have to go back and reread my guide, but it was essentially saying something to the effect of the sim. I think the sim was Kelly National, and I said Kelly does this, but and although that's one way to do it, it was not the efficient way. Kelly should have done it this way because it would have been more efficient and she would have gotten a raise faster or something like that. And then when I get into the section on relationships for The Sims, I had her... I was like, Kelly decides that she needs to find a man to boink and become a husband with and a mother of his children or whatever. And so I was able to explore the in-game ability of being able to get a spouse, have a child, raise that child, and then what happens when the relationship breaks apart. And I did this narratively where I talked about how the husband cheats on Kelly, and so she divorces him but keeps the kid. And it was just a lot of fun to write because not only was I doing my job, but I was being creative about it. And I find it far more fun doing something where I get to be creative. It's why for these Let's Plays, I don't want to ever do a completely dry tutorial on how to play the games. It's just not as fun for me. And I've gotten some feedback for some of my videos, in fact, especially ones that I seem to be one of the few people who has done them for, where they're upset that I'm talking. It's very rare, so no one needs to freaking white knight me, but like I'll get comments where it's like, ugh, why is this Let's Player talking so much? And why can't they just upload something without any commentary and just give tips or whatever? And it's like, because that's not this channel. It's fine if that's what you want. You know, there's an audience for everything, and I'm not for everybody. You know, the world is not my audience, but I get more satisfaction and enjoyment and personal enjoyment out of being creative with it. So, you know, if IGN wants to pay me to make a dry tutorial, then I will do so. But that would be for the paycheck, because it's not satisfying to me otherwise. And so with IGN, the older strategy guides had that. They allowed me to be creative as well as talk about what the game was and how to beat it and everything. Another good one was what was the full name? Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles: My Life as a King, I think is the full name. It was a Wii game. It was brilliant. It was a town builder that was so good, and no one gave a shit about the game, and that made me sad because it could have really used a sequel. Whoops. I meant to check it. But that one I got creative with too, because I don't know what inspired me to do it, but I wrote the entire strategy guide in the vein of a journal written from the main character's point of view, and the main character is a dumbass 6-year-old, so that was really fun to write. But that said, some of the best lines from that guide and from others that I have done would no longer be acceptable, and I can't stand by the words anymore. Or at least I would rewrite it, because, for example, I did a game called Leisure Suit Larry Magna Cum Laude, and there's a system in the game where you have to earn money by taking photos of women and then selling those photos, and it's really skeevy. And in 2021, like, you know, it's a little less fun and funny to even explore that whole topic. And I remember I wrote specifically on one page a phrase that I really regret now, where I wrote that you need to use the cheerleader's boobs for profit, and I really don't like that I wrote that. So that's an example of where the unified voice is helpful, because IGN wouldn't want something like that now on their site, and I think I changed it. If not, I should go back and change it. Because now it's a wiki, so I can just go back and change it. Anyway, I really regret that particular part of the writing. But for the most part, when I'm at my most creative and approaching strategy guides in a fun and different and interesting way, that is what made that job worthwhile. And I just don't have it anymore. It's not what IGN's about, which is fine. Again, it's fine. It's fine. It's unfortunate, and I don't like it, but it's fine. Because if I really hate it, and if I really want to write a strategy guide where I don't have to answer to anybody, I'll do it at GameFAQs, or I'll just do it on YouTube, or both. Like, it doesn't matter. You know. But the original question from Silent Hawk was, what guides have I enjoyed writing and why? And that's why. It's my earlier guides when the job was more fun, and when I had far more creative control over the way I could write, not just what I had to write, not just the substance. So the modern strategy guides are better written technically, and certainly I know how to unify my voice to the rest of IGN. And I can also find strategy guides that other strategy guide writers have written that I don't like, and either don't give the information, don't have a unified voice, or both, and I don't like them. Not that I'm going to publicly call out another writer, because that's just unprofessional. However, I'm a pretty damn good strategy guide writer, even though I haven't done it in a while. But I think my best work is far behind me for IGN, only because they've changed their voice. And it's a different company now, so it is what it is. Okay, next question comes to us from Kalo, who asks, which game let me down when it comes to hype? I don't watch too many game hype stuff, just in general. Going in media blind is part of the reason. Like, I don't want spoilers. But if we broaden that definition to even getting hype from other people, I think the number one game that really jumps to me is Minecraft. Which I know sounds ridiculous, but for all the hype that surrounded Minecraft, when I finally got a chance to play it, and as I played it throughout the years, it was fun, but it wasn't nearly as enjoyable as all of the YouTubers and players said it was. It was okay. I still think it's okay. But, it's a lot, I'm trying to think. I'm also easy to please, though, so that's also difficult for me. Again, because as long as a game isn't fundamentally broken, then whatever. I have played games that I've regretted getting. Arma 3 is one of the biggest ones that I'm most regretful, since the Akamura bought it for me as a present. But there have been a bunch that I have touched, and Diablo's a good one. I keep hearing how great Diablo is, and I can't get into it. Same with Borderlands. I finished Borderlands 1, 2, and the pre-sequel with the Akamura, and then we started Borderlands 3, and I'm not into it. Bloodborne was the same. At least with Bloodborne, I shouldn't say that one let me down, because Bloodborne, I knew what I was getting into, and I knew I probably wouldn't like it, but the game Grumps, another Let's Play channel, kind of convinced me to at least give it a try. And I bought it, and I was like, I don't know if I'm going to like this. And I didn't. And that's not the Game Grumps' fault, or the game's fault. It just wasn't for me. But that's a big one. But then there's a lot of games that I generally avoid if they tend to get overhyped. Like, I'm never going to play Cyberpunk, which is partly because of the community. And Undertale's another good one. Like, I've at least seen Undertale, so I know what's going on with it, but I will never touch Undertale. Partly because of the community, partly just because it's not my thing. But oftentimes when games are that ridiculously overhyped, I will generally not like it because none of them will live up to it. So, and I don't, like, we're never doing Undertale on the show. I don't want to face down the Undertale community, especially because I know how I would play it and it would piss them off. So, I have no interest in inviting that kind of heat. Alright, so that's going to do it for today. We're still exploring the Prometheus ruins, and hopefully we can get some good loot out of this run. I still don't know whether I'm supposed to be doing this for the story, but we're at least getting some cash and some experience points, and more importantly, moves for Cupcake, since she still needs some help with that. So we're getting there, man. It's just taking a hot minute. Thank you all very much for watching. I will see you again tomorrow for another episode.